Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Elevate analysis. Now, today I want to talk about Nasdaq and gold. Right. So, if you have been following me, right, you would have seen these two ideas about Nasdaq and 500 S&P 500 short, right, on the 7th of August, and also on the 5th of August, right. So the reason I've given to short them at that point in time is that W and Y, right? Right, let me move this thing, right? So these two wave itself, right, looks to be a corrective wave, right? In the sense that it was A, B, C previously when I was talking about this, right? And they form a very nice relationship, a Fibonacci relationship, where this two wave itself is 1:1, right? You can see my drawing over here. Now, what happens since then is, well, it did fall. I did fall and it goes to 23,238, right? From the height here, which is 23,575, right? It's not a huge drop, right? I think it's around 330 points drop, right? And then it moved up in another five wave. Now this is both confusing and frustrating, right? So what we can see over here is that there is this overlap here. This overlap. Now, usually in error wave, unless there is unless this whole thing is a diagonal, right? There shouldn't be an overlap between wave four and wave one. Okay, wave four and wave one. So over here, based on this overlap, right? Let me just put in this text here. Based on this overlap, okay, the bias becomes this becomes a WXYXZ. Now there is also another reason why this is now termed as a corrective wave, right? And that is because this height here, there's still a little bit of what you would say it didn't really make new high. The same can be said of S&P 500, right? In fact, S&P 500 um, gives a little bit more leeway over here, right? And it also just slightly breached the previous Y wave. Now, if you see these two charts, you can see that I've drawn a trend line over here, right? So this trend line is important in the sense that I do expect it to break, given that there is already a completion of the five-way structure. Okay, it's the same for Nasdaq. It's just that Nasdaq there is a bit more distance to go. Okay, but because Nasdaq is more volatile, right? That's why I think it's okay. They should break together or around the same time. Now, in support of this Nasdaq or S&P 500 short again, right? I will bring out gold. Now, if you see gold over here, I've previously talked about this, and that is that um, for gold, we have been looking at this cup and handle, and then this move up as a 1, 2, 3. Right, this is a weekly time frame, by the way, and then we are looking at this fourth wave. Now, this fourth wave itself, I've drawn this as a symmetric triangle, right, where you can see is A, B, C, D, E, right? And after this, I drew a five wave up, which is clearer on the hourly time frame, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And over here, there's this correction. Now, for this correction, once again, it's not particularly good to trade, given that over here, right, it consolidates, right, and it's quite hard to to find the waveform here, even if I have to go down to, maybe the 15 minutes here. Okay, so for this, if the wave is not clear, right, the best you can do is to look at support and resistance, right? So over here it looks like 3341, right, around 3341 to 3343. This price acts as a very important support. Now if it breaks down, what happens is that um now this is also the 50% retracement level, right? The exact is about 3338.61, right? But what I'm trying to say is that if gold breaks down from here, right, the next the previous price movement around this region is actually a straight line, right? So what this means is that potentially if it breaks down, gold may go all the way down, right, to 3300, right? So when we trade the Nasdaq, and if you trade gold, right, let's say gold here you long, right, this is very important, right, because you want to look, if it breaks down here, we also want to look at Nasdaq and S&P. Did they bounce from this trend line and go higher, right? Because if they do, we have to cut the short. Okay, so if you trade this, right, let's say we put in this position here, you will really be looking at where to put the stop loss. Now logically you will put it here, right, because this is where the nearby resistance are, right? But if you can, I would say that reduce your size, right, and push this a bit higher, right, while we wait for the break of the trend line, right? So if it breaks, we are really looking at it going down to at least this um this support over here, right? So if we look at the Fibonacci, right, this is the third wave. Can we find a support, right? So this and this are both good places to review whether the short you can hold on to it, or you should take out some partial profit or take out the whole short, right? So I would say conservatively, let's look at this, right? With a possibility of it going down to here. Okay, this will be more of a 500 points, right? 550 points around there, right? And this will be around 300 points. Okay, so it looks very small, right? Even here, if it goes down, we are really looking at slightly more than 1% of fall for Nasdaq. Okay, it's not a lot. Yeah, so a risk reward, this is what we are looking at. Okay, and as I mentioned, right, take note of gold, right, especially if it breaks this, right? So I will say put an alert here. Okay, if it breaks down, then quickly look at where your Nasdaq is or your S&P is. Okay, so I think that's it for today, right? Lastly, let me just put in this arrow to indicate that this is a short idea. Okay, thank you for your time and good luck in your trading.